Welcome to the first Uganda-UK Trade and Investment Conference, which was held here, in the beautiful part of the Midlands in the UK. This is all brought to you by KI Media World. The venue is at the prestigious West Bromwich Football Club in the West Midlands. West Brom, as they are commonly known, is an English professional football club in the Premier League. The theme of the conference was Uganda is ready for business with the Midlands. The main objectives were boosting trade and investment opportunities, to learn about Uganda's attractiveness as an investment destination, gain detailed trading opportunities, get involved in business discussions, the delegates to benefit from one-on-one sessions, which would also expand their network of contacts and business associates. This conference comes at the heels of a UK trade envoy to Uganda with Lord Dola Popat's bilateral talks with President Museveni at State House Entebbe in Uganda. Arrival was at 9 a.m, where the delegates were welcomed and introduced to each other over a big breakfast. The conference was organised by Nsaba Buturo and Jaffer, Managing Director Geonomics Limited, in conjunction with the Uganda High Commission UK, along with strategic partners. The conference kicked off at 9:30 a.m. in the Richardson Suite, where Daniel, the co-host, made the opening remarks and invited the High Commissioner to UK.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first Uganda Midlands Conference. This conference came about because the Uganda High Commission has a strategy to extend her presence to the different regions of England and the UK. The program started from August last year when Geoff and I started to canvass the Midlands, in this case the West Midlands, seeking for partners to assist Uganda, work with Uganda to promote Uganda as a trade and investment destination in Africa. When we started these meetings, the response we had from partners, potential partners, was one of a mixed fortune. Some would say, is Uganda still at war? Others would say, is Idi Amin's children in government? And all of these responses were totally opposite to what's happening in Uganda now. But I would like to say thank you for coming here today. Feel free to network with the key speakers, and the purpose of today's conference is to ensure that this is a platform where things can get done for the business community.
The High Commissioner to UK, Professor Joyce Kikafunda, gave opening remarks. She welcomed the delegates and thanked them for their time and effort to attend.
Good morning. Are you well? Yes. I welcome you all very, very warmly to this, our first Midlands, Uganda Midlands Convention, as Mr. Daniel has said. You are all very welcome. Thank you very much for leaving your busy schedules to come and participate in this very important convention or gathering.
The High Commissioner also advised the theme as Uganda is ready for business with the Midlands, boosting trade and investment opportunities.
The theme for this conference is very appropriate. Uganda is ready to do business with the Midlands.
She went on to add why this convention was brought to the Midlands.
A little bit of the background. For the last 6 years, we have been hosting, together with Mr. Mutenza Wile, a Uganda-UK convention in London for 6 years. But it was always hoped that at an appropriate time, we shall take this convention. The London one remains, but we shall also spread it to the other parts of the UK. And I'm happy to inform you that we chose the Midlands to be the first such a convention. And the reasons are clear, because of your history of manufacturing and industry. So what better place to start? Because in Uganda, our vision is to transform ourselves totally from poverty, prosperity in less than 30 years. So what better place to start than the Midlands?
Florence Kiremerwa in her speech implored Ugandans in the diaspora to promote the growing tourism sector that requires a lot of support. She cited the establishment of a one-stop centre at the Uganda Investment Authority Uganda. She tasked Ugandans abroad to be Uganda's ambassadors by promoting and marketing the country to the outside world.
You need the diaspora here. We are the middlemen and women who will connect you back to Uganda. So we still need the middlemen.
I am Florence Kiremerwa, the Special Presidential Assistant on Diaspora Issues. I am in Uganda most of the time, although I travel a lot. I'm so grateful for Daniel Nsaba Buturo, a young man, you know, in his late 30s, to have organized such an event. We've had more than 50 investors here in different investments. You know, some of them are in agriculture, some of them are in so many schools, universities here. Some are in foods and industry, and others are in oil, others in construction, aviation. I'm so grateful, and I've realized that this should be an example for all of us in the diaspora, all of us Ugandans in the diaspora, that if such a young man can organize and mobilize investors in the Midlands and come in one place, you know, to talk about business, how they are interested in investing in Uganda, I think anybody else can do it.
After lunch and the afternoon sessions, we caught up with some delegates later on, and this is what some of them had to say.
Jaffer, Kapasi. I'm a Consul General of Uganda to the Midlands. I was born in Masindi in the district and the kingdom of Buturo, and I'm here to actually promote trade and investment in Uganda. So I've been involved with Uganda since 1994. Uganda has always been in my heart because I was born there and I have an affinity to Uganda. I've led 2 trade missions to Uganda in order to do that, and also I've been twice as well to visit Uganda and to meet the business community there, interconnect here. My role, you know, I've been advising people, I've been signposting people or the businesses what to do, when to do, how to. I've been arranging meetings between the High Commission and the business people.
I'm David Smith, I'm Chairman of British African Business Alliance, and I'm delighted to be here at the West Midlands Uganda UK Trade and Investment Conference. My reason for coming is because our organisation was the idea of a Ugandan who recognised that there was no Chamber of Commerce for the diaspora. And as a result, what we've done is create a business alliance where we work with community groups, we work with UK businesses, and we work with people in the diaspora who are looking to establish businesses or charities or organisations in their home country. There's a huge amount of trade to be done between British companies and the diaspora. But the British companies don't know the diaspora exists, and the diaspora doesn't realise what's on its doorstep. So I'm quite excited by the opportunities that are coming through from both sides of the fence. We're working on an airline, we're working on a school, we're working on an agricultural project to train 4,000 farmers. These are all projects that are coming through the various members and contacts that we have. Today's event has been brilliant. It's been great to see so many people here and to have the opportunity to talk to them about the work that we do at British African.
My name is Samuel Mugasi. I'm the Executive Director of the National Agriculture Advisory Services, which is an agency under the Ministry of Agriculture in the government of Uganda. I'm here for a number of things. One, to give facts about Uganda, to give information about agriculture in Uganda. Agriculture in Uganda is changing. We are now going into commercial agriculture. We are beginning to see large-scale investors coming to agriculture to support production. And now we are thinking of moving to higher ends of the value chain. We are thinking of value addition, we are thinking of agro-processing. So we are here to invite investors from the UK to come to Uganda and participate in building value chains. And among the value chains that we want to interest investors in, we have coffee, we have tea, we have cotton, and livestock. These are very profitable value chains that we think if you can invest in them as investors from the UK, you can get huge, huge returns. We have a big market in Eastern and Southern Africa. You have the East African community, you have the COMESA. This is a growing population. All these economies in these regional blocks are growing, and this is a huge, huge market. Therefore, if you come to Uganda and invest in these value chains, you are assured of high returns. We are also looking at exporting to the UK, to the European Union. We have been told that we are going to be having 3 direct flights from Entebbe to Gatwick. These could bring in flowers, they could bring in fruits, they could bring in vegetables. So these are areas of investment that we would like to offer to investors from UK who are wishing to come and invest in Uganda. This event was really very, very good, and we wish we could have more of such events where we provide information about Uganda. People lack information about the opportunities in Uganda. People lack information about businesses that are available in Uganda. So if we can have more of such events where we interface with potential investors in Europe, in UK, in the Midlands here, this is very, very good, and we hope, and I would like to thank the organizers for this important.
My name is Moses Waswa Mulimira. I'm here at this conference today as a representative for Uganda-UK Health Alliance, which is an initiative set up by the government of Uganda to work with the UK government on developing healthcare and capacity in Uganda and UK. Today I gave a presentation on how the Alliance is actually a model which can be used for business development. We talked about healthcare in Uganda as a way of looking at health and wealth coming together. And I think the best way to do it is actually to bring this to the business sector. Uganda has a lot of potential, as was shown today by most of the presenters. And we think as the Uganda-UK Health Alliance, which is working closely with actually the trade envoy for Uganda to UK, Lord Dollar Poppet is our patron. As a way of developing the country, we need to develop healthcare. Uganda has great potential as it's got a lot of the youth population is growing. Education is one of the big sectors which has been developed. So we think actually healthcare is a very vibrant business sector. Today I spoke about opportunities in healthcare in Uganda, such as developing pharmaceutical industry. We spoke about developing public health initiatives like setting up gyms in Uganda. We spoke about how we can develop the ICT, e-health as one of the big sectors which the government is trying to push up. Developing of computing skills. These are things which I think the business sector needs to come in. And I think as well, I think business, we healthcare professionals are bad at managing hospitals. So we're looking at business managers, training these sort of business skills to healthcare workers. So opportunities are there actually for anyone who's interested in developing healthcare in Uganda. The UK-Uganda Health Alliance was set up in 2013 as an initiative to support the development of these hospitals. We have 50 members in Uganda, 70 members in Uganda and 50 members here. Some of the hospitals actually are in Midlands. Birmingham have a link with Masaka Hospital in Eastern Uganda. We have Leicester University Hospital setting up a link with Buturo Hospital under guardianship of our trade envoy, Lord Poppet. So these are all looking forward to sort of developing the country. But also what we need to think about actually, the UK is learning a lot from Uganda. From my experience as a healthcare profession, going out to Uganda and coming back and working within the National Health Service here, it's been adding value to my service users here. So I think for me, there's a lot to learn. It's not about one way forward, but it's the other way as well. And that's why I think the Uganda-UK Health Alliance is the way forward.
My name is Alex Bodie. I'm the director of Let's Move Africa, which is a real estate consultancy firm based in the UK. We help investors from the European markets invest in real estate acquisitions in Africa. Our main focus is on public-private partnerships, so we work in collaboration with the governments of Africa, and also we work in collaboration with private partners in Europe and try to marry the two together to do infrastructure projects. I think the significance of today's event is to highlight asset investment in Uganda. It's a fantastic opportunity for people from the diaspora who have no real idea of how to get involved in investment projects in Uganda. So today gives them an opportunity to directly get in contact with the government, and also in regards to private companies that are trying to invest in projects in Uganda. I think that the publicity of the event has been great. I've come from London, we're here today in West Brom, and I've managed to meet with people from all around the UK, not only from the diaspora, but as I mentioned, in people from private companies as well. So it's a great event. I highly recommend it to anyone that wants to attend.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenneth. I'm from KI Media World, and we are here at the Uganda Business Investment Forum in West Bromwich Stadium in the Midlands. With me is Fred Opolot from the Uganda Investment Authority. He's just given us a very good presentation today on business investment in Uganda. Mr. Opolot, welcome to London.
Thank you very much, Kenneth. Thank you for having me.
Good. Kindly just tell our viewers what the diaspora can actually do in terms of investing in Uganda, what opportunities avail themselves.
The diaspora can certainly do a lot, but first and foremost, it is important that they get themselves abreast to what actually government does to help investment. I wear two hats today. I am here as a board member of Uganda Investment Authority, and also representing the minister who was unfortunately unable to come. Now, majorly, we are tasked as the investment authority to ensure that we attract investors to the country, we retain them, and we give them aftercare services to ensure that their investments are sustained. So that's the first thing. But over the years, what has also been happening, there's been a lot of focus on foreign direct investors or investment, meaning that the government has concentrated on having foreign investors come into Uganda. Conditions have not been really right or tailored towards those investors or potential diasporans who want to invest in Uganda. Government has recognized the potential of diaspora investors over the years, and it has adjusted the investment threshold. I know. So it is important, but also much as we are diasporan, we're living in the UK and so forth, it is important to have a dual citizenship so that you're also recognized or acknowledged as actually a Ugandan. It is no good just coming to Uganda with a British passport and expect to be treated as a Ugandan. So, let us at least follow those channels through the migration, and with Uganda Investment Authority, there is a one-stop center that can facilitate all that. Ugandans in the diaspora can register a business. They can get access to the tax certificate at Uganda Investment Authority. The migration issues are resolved and so forth. So really, you don't need to keep running around Kampala for a month or two. Just come to that one-stop center, and actually, we've had issues resolved within a day. So yes, the diasporans.
This has been a very exciting day. We started to promote trade and investment with Uganda last year. We had enormous support from government organisations, Department of International Trade and Business Link, a lot of enthusiasm from local companies, and this has culminated in the conference today. Well, I gather we've had over 70 people in attendance. We're going to repeat the event next year, where we hope we have even more. And leading up from the conference, there will be a trade mission to Uganda, where we hope there'll be trade and investment deals done and a building relationship between the two countries. I think one of the pities is Britain for too long hasn't thought about their friends in Africa. There's an open door in Uganda, and hopefully more companies will take advantage of that during the next year. If we achieve that, it's a considerable success.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Kenneth from KI Media World. We're here at West Bromwich football grounds, where we've had a very wonderful conference on business investment in Uganda. This was held here in the Midlands in Birmingham, and with me right now is a young gentleman who had the opportunity to put this all together. Daniel Nsaba Buturo, thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you indeed. Thank you for the opportunity to let everybody know how this conference came about. I was working in partnership with the Uganda High Commission UK and Mr. Geoff from Geonomics Limited, an economic development consultancy company that has provided us with the opportunity to meet the business network group of the Midlands, to meet the decision makers of the Midlands, who in total provided us with the resources, with the information to put this wonderful platform together. The Midlands UK is the centre for manufacturing, it's the centre for industry, and at a time when Uganda is seeking to industrialise her economy, there is no better time for this conference to take place than today. So I thank everybody for coming here today, for contributing to this outstanding historical event that's been described as the biggest African event in the Midlands. We're hoping we can annualize this event. We're hoping business can come out of this event for Uganda. And we're hoping by the end of 12 months we'll be able to look back and say to ourselves that successfully we've achieved some outstanding things, not only for Uganda but for the UK, because we believe it should be a two-way relationship.
Daniel, this is a very good idea, an initiative that you've come up, especially so here in the Midlands. We tend to have these conferences in London, but you've brought us together here in the Midlands. Are you looking at doing this again?
Yes, most definitely. We're hoping to make this an annual event once a year. And the difference between this conference, this convention and other conventions is this convention will lead onto a trade mission to Uganda, where delegates will have a chance to push forward their proposals, their ideas. Most conferences that we go to stop at the conference. There are very little opportunities for following through what it is you came to the conference for. But this is a conference where from tomorrow morning, from this evening, we'll be emailing, calling those who are in attendance today to see or to try to ensure that they not only got the most out of the conference, but they'll be able to get the most out of everyone who came here today to represent Uganda.
Right, so I see you just touched on the subject there that this conference will push on to Uganda. So are you looking at holding another conference in Uganda of a similar nature?
That's correct. We'll be taking businesses from the Midlands UK to Uganda, where we will be hosting a conference where businesses, delegates will be able to meet distribution partners in Uganda. They'll be able to meet private sector, public sector partners in Uganda. They'll be able to meet potential exporters, potential importers, and most importantly, they'll be able to see for themselves the opportunity that Uganda has to offer. Today was stage 2 of a 4-stage program. Stage 4 is important because that's when people get to put a picture to the words, the wonderful words that we've all been portraying on behalf of Uganda. So yes, in the trade mission to Uganda, there will be another conference where we'll be building on what's been achieved today.
Right, that's wonderful. Now, what message do you have for your fellow diasporans in terms of giving you all the support that you need in ensuring that this actually happens?
Yes, first and foremost, I'd like to recognize my parents, Honorable Dr. James Nsaba Buturo and Madame Edith Buturo. Without them, I wouldn't have had the platform to be speaking about the things that I'm speaking now. And with the platform that I have, I most certainly will be trying to answer the question that Mr. Karenga has brought forward. And that's the question of how do we ensure that the diaspora plays a role in ensuring that they're contributing to the development of Uganda. And that role is a role that I believe once we come together and share ideas, it's a role that I believe we can build upon. It's a role that I believe is already established, because when you see what Ugandans are doing in the UK, some outstanding work is taking place. Mr. Karenga is one of them himself. We have Mr. Moses Mulimira from the UK East Africa Health Alliance, Uganda Health Alliance, the UK chair. So you can see Ugandans are already doing outstanding things in the UK, but if we can come together and consolidate all of our gains and put it under one umbrella, Uganda needs people who are serious about contributing, serious about Uganda becoming part of the leading club of nations, not only in Africa but in the world. And how will that happen? It will happen by Uganda industrializing our nation. It will happen by people setting up manufacturing plants. It will happen by foreign direct investment increasing. It will happen by people adding value to agricultural products so that the Treasury can receive more from exports as opposed to exporting raw materials. So there's a lot that we can do, but it will only be done if we come together.
Wonderful message, Daniel, and thank you so much for getting this function together and for bringing Ugandans from across the United Kingdom to Birmingham, the Midlands, where you have a very big concentration of the young generation.
Yes.
And there's a lot to learn from here, and also for showcasing the different businesses, enterprises that are interested in investing in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for a job well done.
Thank you.
And this is all being brought to you by KI Media World. Thank you. Wonderful and informative business conference here in Birmingham. Here at KI Media World, we would like to thank Professor Joyce Kikafunda and her entire team at the Uganda High Commission in London. And we'll also like to thank the co-hosts of today's event, Mr. Geoff Edge, the Managing Director of Geonomics Limited, and Mr. Daniel Nsaba Buturo.